today. Liverpool are fantastic. It's nice to see Liverpool really performing at the levels that we expect them to be. And I was pleased with Verts tonight. I was really pleased with his work rate, because I was trying to speak about that before the game, and just to say that's the part he needs to change. And I felt he did that tonight.
What pleased you most, Dan?
I think overall, as a team, I think it meant more to Liverpool tonight. Given how things have gone so far this season, it was a big game, it was a big moment for the team, and I think everyone stepped up collectively. Szoboszlai was fantastic. The guys have mentioned all the individuals, Conor Bradley, Verts, this, that and the third. There's so many different guys we can say superlatives about. I think all in all, Real Madrid underwhelmed everybody. And I think we probably expected a better performance from them, which would have been a much more difficult game for Liverpool. But I think in the end, they managed the game very well. We're looking at Virgil coming and talk to us now, and we'll hear what he has to say. But what a game we did watch tonight.
Yeah, Virgil van Dijk is coming down to have a chat with us behind the desk. And I'm sure he'll be pleased at the performance he's seen from the men around him this evening, because not only is that a performance that Liverpool will hopefully build on for their sake, and they built on the weekend, but also 3 wins out of 4 in the Champions League so far this season as well.
Yeah, I think they've had a obviously tremendous start in that.
Hey Virgil, thank you very much.
Yeah, I think they've had a great start tonight. I mean, obviously a little bit of a blip against Galatasaray, against Frankfurt. They showed the mettle, they showed what it meant to them, and then obviously they had a little bit of a bad result after that, but they've gone from strength to strength now. So yeah. Great.
Robbie's saying you've gone from strength to strength. That win at the weekend over Aston Villa was very important. Building on that tonight.
Yeah, I think there was a lot of energy, a lot of hard work within the performance today. I think I think they won 14 in the last 15. They have a lot of quality. We all know that. We know their strengths. We know how they can punish you. We've seen in the recent weeks. So we have to be spot on in everything we do. And at times you come in a low block, and that's something that we had to accept. And I think we performed our game plan perfectly.
You have been on a disappointing run before that game at the weekend, and we know after the Manchester United game, you took the players together and tried to kind of find out maybe, I don't know, you tell us what was going on. How important was that meeting, do you think, and how things have changed since then?
It's easy to say now because we won twice in a row that it helped pretty well, but I think in a world of chaos, you have to try and stay calm and take the perspective of things. We at that meeting, the time was October. So many football to be played, so many twists and turns that can happen, and I think at times the noise was a lot.
You looking at anybody around here?
No, I'm not at all. But listen, I think it's very important to put things in perspective. Keep your head down, work, and get out of the situation, because quality we have. That's not the issue. It's about keep working and keep going.
Does the outside noise affect you, Virg, or are you just happy plodding along to do what you need to do and trying to put people right?
I think all of you know here that you're dealing with obviously a squad of 25 players, a lot of young players, a couple older players like myself, and everyone lives a different life. So I can say, for me personally, it doesn't affect me, but obviously I'm dealing as a captain with players that might be affected about it. So you have to...
Has the criticism and some of it been fair, do you think?
Of course, just if you lose a game as a Liverpool player 4 or 5 in a row, then there's a fair criticism. That is absolutely normal in that sense. But I think it's over the top at times as well at that point. But listen, that's because we live in a world that with so many platforms, so many people can say stuff and will be picked up and made bigger than what else. But I think it's good that especially ex-players that play at the highest level, played at the top, that dealt with difficult moments as well, to put also a lot of things in perspective, I think.
I'm not saying it no more. I think I've put them on. I think we've put them on a winning streak. But no, I think when you win the Premier League, and I think what I've said, it was fair, when you win the Premier League and then you go on a run where you lose 3-4 games in a row, which you don't expect from Liverpool over the last few years. And then as Virgil as you as the captain, I think that's your opportunity then to go and lead the players, and that's what I was saying. I think that happens in football, and I think the response has been great from Virgil, from the team. So
I think if you would watch games, then I would definitely take the responsibility. I think the comment about that I signed my new deal and then it's that's it, and I'll let it slide. I think that was a bit, but that's my personal opinion.
But do you use things like that? Does that fire you up?
I want to perform for the team, for the club, for each and every one that will support us through thick and thin. And when we go through a tough time as a team, when we lose in games, that obviously unfortunate that didn't happen too many times, then it hurts me so much. And I want to turn this around. And because I also see the hard work we put in each and every day, I see the quality that we have. And
can we talk specifically about defence, because that's back-to-back clean sheets and 10 games before
After
that.
Forever,
yeah. Didn't achieve that. A great performance from Conor Bradley tonight as well. How much does that please you?
Well, I think that's the basis of hopefully success. I think you can see at the moment Arsenal is flying, and it's down to obviously having that basis of clean sheets, not conceding chances. And I think that's what we had as well. And that's what we're trying to find back. Consistency, start with defending. We have the quality to hurt anyone in possession on the break. It starts with defending, how much you put in. And today you saw the hard work. We saw it as well against Villa. We didn't create too many open chances back then, but we managed to find a win. And we have to keep going. And Sunday is going to be another difficult one. And we have to be ready for that as well.
Perfect platform, though, that you've given yourselves of Saturday and tonight, heading to the Etihad.
Yeah, but we all know how football works. It can change overnight, but we focus now on recovery. It sounds boring, but it is what it is. We recover tomorrow, we're back at it, and then full focus will be on a tough one against a very informed striker as well, like tonight.
Virg, did you get any opportunity to see Trent before the game? There was a lot of talk of the conditions he would have coped tonight. Have you managed to see him, or are you going to get a chance to see him?
No.
Virg, talking about the new signings that have come into the club, played many big games so far, moments like tonight, what sort of feeling will that give them considering all the noise we're talking about?
I think massive, I think it's about for them, just show what you've been doing, already for all those years. Florian started today on the left wing, and obviously it's difficult for a defender already to have a player in front of you that will go anywhere. So he played outstanding also in defending. I think he was outstanding. Hugo is a handful, he keeps running, keeps scoring, and runs in behind in his feet. Technical, very good. Georgie, obviously, in absence of Ali, it's just keep going, find your way into the team, and whenever you play, be important. And if you're not, then be important off the pitch. And I think the players have settled in my eyes, perfectly. Maybe you have to ask them yourself, but I think in my eyes, perfectly. But obviously, we all get judged what you do on the pitch. And step by step, we'll get them.
I think one disappointment from me, but I think you could have won the game by a lot more goals tonight.
I think we have a goalkeeper.
Would you see that as a disappointment? But you should have scored 3 or 4 more goals.
Sometimes you have to hold your hand up, and Courtois was.
You get happy with 1-0, but I think.
Yeah, well, you can make it easier, but you have a goalkeeper against you. That was outstanding, and I think it gave me a bit of a feeling that we had in Paris when we lost the final as well. But he was outstanding today again, and we found a way, and now we move on.
Good man.
Sadly, we're being asked to let you go, but thank you very much.
You're very welcome.
And chatting,
You're very welcome.
Best of luck for the rest of the week.
Thank you very much, guys.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Thanks. So Liverpool at this point in the season, how they did it?
I think they were brilliant tonight, Liverpool. I think for what it means for the club, I think we know they've had a tough start. There was murmurs of the old Liverpool against Villa on the weekend, but tonight I thought they were brilliant, each to a man. Obviously Alexis McAllister's got man of the match. I'd give a huge mention to obviously Ekitike. I thought he was fantastic, and Conor Bradley. Wow, he put in an unbelievable performance. In fact, if Vinicius Junior gets to his bedroom tonight, I'll be amazed, because I think Conor Bradley might be stopping him from getting in there. But I think it just shows Liverpool. I think the confidence was there, and I think it stems from the weekend's performance as well. So it puts them in good stead now going into the City game the weekend.
Yeah, and this Real Madrid side have had their second best ever start to a season, and out of 19 games this season, it's only 3 times now that Kylian Mbappe has failed to score, which puts into context the great defensive performance.
Yeah, it does, and I said before the game that this place does strange things here, and it makes it very difficult if the crowds are up for it. And he was, and that showed on the pitch through the players. And I thought Real Madrid were poor. I thought they lacked intensity, they lacked ideas. They didn't move the ball quick enough. They didn't really create any chances at goal. But you'd have to give credit to Liverpool, because the way they come out to approach the game, and for 90 minutes as well, they played really well first half, but they carried it on second half and got the win. As you said before, it looked like they weren't going to get past Courtois, but they got the goal and they deserved the win massively. So I think full credit to Liverpool tonight. Yeah. The hardest thing then is to go on and do it again, and he'll tell you himself, I don't think he's been at his best this season, but over the last couple of games he's getting back to that, and when he's at his best, he's
but
one of the best in the world.
Almost as well by admission, saying, yeah, you can say that kind of coming together meeting after United's defeat, the defeat to United, has worked, but actually by saying that, what they're saying is actually they did need somehow to come together. There was a need for that moment.
There's always an element of players being able to talk in a safe environment away from the manager, because there'll be some truths that are said that don't really want to get to the manager or the
we
staff.
Had a few at Everton, didn't we?
We did have a few, to be honest, which we can talk about another time, maybe in your pod at some point. However, I think you're safe. I think Virgil's probably going to come from me at some point. Didn't really like that, did he? But however, look, I really appreciate the man, the stature he is, the leader. I think it shows that he still cares, and I think when you get to a certain age in football as well, that's always questioned with certain players. Like, do they still care? Do they still want to work hard? And he always does.
Do you think sometimes it takes, when you're winning so seemingly kind of easily as they did last year and everything worked so well, the wheels looked very well oiled, when you hit the skids a little bit and things don't go right, as a leader and somebody who's a bit more senior, you have to kind of wake up again and take that leadership by, grasp it, don't you? And become the leader that perhaps you initially were. Does that make sense?
I think he has been leading. I think the issue is that there are new signings. Like you said, he's talked about the new players that have come into the club. I can't question Virgil's leadership. I think he's a fantastic leader. I think they have other leaders on the football pitch that are growing into becoming leaders as well. I think that the point is that there are new players within the camp that have to take on the tactics and understand how the team plays. They've come from different systems, different this and that. And in some cases, a lot of players take that on board very fast and it looks seamless. And in other cases, it takes a while. So for me, I really appreciated what Virg said to us. He was open and honest, and gave his perspective, which I appreciate.
Anna, how are you? Congratulations.
So I mean, it's obviously paid dividends, and that's obviously what good teams do. They talk about things, what they can do right, what they needed to do, and they've done that with the last two performances.
We just had a... Oh, hello. We just...
We saw each other a while ago. That's what I was asking.
You two can catch up. Yeah. Maybe on Wayne's Pod. We've talked about that enough tonight, haven't we? Anna, congratulations. Great result tonight, building on the result from the weekend in what is a tricky week for you with the Etihad at the end of it as well. How pleased were you with the performance tonight as much as the result?
Yeah, very pleased. It's been tricky weeks for us. Many away games, hardly any rest in between every single game. And again, we only had 2 days in between a game, but the same was there for Real Madrid, and then it helps if you can play in front of these fans and you play against Madrid, because that brings the best, I think, out of my players and out of our fans. Great performance against a team that only lost once, I think, this season. And so yeah, could have been a bit more maybe, but...
Robbie made that point to Virgil, who was giving all the praise to Courtois.
Now that is definitely true, yeah. Even in the first half, he had a few saves. I was standing in line. I'm like, that he makes those saves. And then, of course, in the second half, he made a few saves so close to him that makes him one of the best goalkeepers in the world.
And it's the first time that Real Madrid haven't scored since the Club World Cup semi-final against PSG. So in terms of your defence, and that's 2 clean sheets on the bounce now, that must also be very pleasing.
Yeah, I said before the game, they've scored 26 goals in La Liga. And Mbappe and Vinicius together have 24 goal contributions. So if you want to have any chance of winning this game, you have to make sure these two are not on the score sheet. And Connor was outstanding, but I think the whole team defended really well in the high press, in the low block. But to be so many times 1v1 against Vinicius is not for everyone that you can play a game like this. But he did outstanding today.
And was there more of a conscious effort from yourself and your staff to keep it tight at the back? Because I think with obviously Conor Bradley was brilliant, Andy Robbo was brilliant, but they never marauded as much as what we've seen in previous games. Did you tell them to sit back a little bit and control the games?
I said to them, the only thing I don't want is a mid-block, because these two up front have deep runs, unbelievable timing and incredible pace, Vinicius and Mbappe. So we either press them really high or we're on a low block, but we will never give away the space. And in the few moments you do, take away that space, because 24 goal contributions from 26 goals tells you probably everything about these two.
And have you noticed a change in the mentality within the group over the last couple of games, clean sheets, or is that just the way it's happened?
Oh, if you want my honest answer, but that's the difficult one, standing next to someone from Manchester United. For me, the difference is the playing style of the teams we face. But then probably I get a lot of criticism again. But you cannot compare a game of football where the other team wants to bring the ball out from the back then